Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world, and we're back again with Cyber Knight's Flashpoint, and looks like we're going to have to do some things in the base before we get a chance to see what might be available as far as a mission upcoming. So let's get those things handled right away. First is, we do have a viewer that claimed Rhino, and we're going to go in there and get the renaming done. And as we're doing that, just a note to everybody else, there currently is no waiting list for a character. So if you've kind of been sitting on the sidelines thinking that maybe, just maybe, you'd like a character, you can put your name in to claim an upcoming character as they come available. So just let me know down in the comments or over in our Discord, in the Cyber Knight channel, whichever is convenient for you. Feel free. Link to the Discord, if you haven't ever taken a peek over there, should be down in the video description. So let's get down here and go to the appearance of Rhino, not me. And we're gonna go with the rename. And one thing we didn't discuss, Trumpkin, is I'm just gonna make the first name Rhino now, because that's how we all know her. And then we're gonna give the new Overwatch nickname that you desired, and I forgot the A. I had a feeling I mistyped. And there is your new character with the nickname you desire. So now it's known as Rhino Overwatch Pufftailing. I never knew what her name was other than Rhino, but ooh, it's a mouthful, that last name. Okay, let's move on from here. So actually, the next thing I want to take a look at, we're going to come back to do all the training in just a moment. But the first thing I want to do is we have a nice bank right at the moment. We also, and I didn't notice this, we have NBS cubes building up, 2 of each kind now. Not that we can use them until we get a crafting table, but you know, they're starting to build up. There's possibilities starting to build there. We're going to come into cold storage, because that's the stuff we can sell. I still don't think we have somebody who can buy the armor. Let's just at least check. And no, we have nobody available or have the ability yet to do it. Now, as far as inset units, other than those, well, we do have another blueprint here, and then we have a file here, a rare, an epic one, which it doesn't say. Well, we'll find out when we sell it. If I can never remember. Is it epic, rare? I think it's epic that might change influence. Sure seems that way. So we'll find out when we go to sell it. I think someone may be available to buy this, so let's go sell and find out. Origami Joe. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little weapon mod blueprint. Increases the arc for you know, auto fire kind of a thing. It adds to recoil though, so you know, it's not an earth-shattering gonna change things. I'm gonna sell it now just to get the extra cash. It's gonna be a while since I can use these blueprints, and I'm sure we'll find more and hopefully better ones by then. So Origami Joe, we'll take your 3K. Thank you. And then we're gonna see who can buy this one here. 23K sounds like a nice payday to me. And I'm not sure, it seems like we should gain a little influence from somebody, whoever we sell it to. And with Potato, we get less money from Potato. But I also feel like if we gain a little influence from them, you know, the last time we would gain influence from one of these, I'm almost guaranteed epic. I think rare and common are the ones that don't get us any bump as far as favor with somebody or influence. So I'm going to take a chance on Potato, take a little less money from Octane, and see if we can get him up to 80% and start getting available an influence break. So getting an influence break, you start gaining chances at 80% until you get up to 100% with the best chance to get an influence break. So I'm going to try to get that minimal chance with this. I think this will give us a 10% gain. I'm hoping it gets us a 10% gain in influence. That's why I'm going with Potato and sacrificing 8,000. Okay. And we are done. Everything else is in a set. I'm not going to break up the sets, yes, unless I desperately need money. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right, and why don't we, real quick, go see if it's an instant change, if there is one, as a matter of fact, or maybe potato, potato, potato. He's friendly, and his influence is where right now? Yeah, no, it's still at 70. So, yeah, I'm still unclear how this worked, because we also had somebody where we gave 2 legendary items to them, and they only seem to gain influence on one of those 2 items. So I'm still learning. I need to get into their Discord and just quietly ask some questions over there to see if this is working as intended or if I'm misunderstanding how it should be working. So we'll clarify that once I find out for sure, or if you know for sure and you happen to see the video, feel free to make a comment down below. So next thing we're going to do is promote. Let's just get our promotions out of the way. We don't have a lot of points for most of us. Oh, well, I take that back. Sin, he has some points. But the rest of the upgrades so far for training are somewhat minimal. So we'll make the best use of them. And for me, I'm thinking, I mentioned the look ahead last episode. I think it was last episode, where it would be nice to have a wider circumference. Well, it looks like the most I can gain is look ahead range increased by 10 meters. And that's not the circumference I wanted increased. Oh well. So I kind of think I'm gonna lower the cooldown though. I have 2 charges, and then getting the cooldown down to 4 from 5 will help it become available much quicker. I think it'll allow me to use it more frequently. So that's since I only have 1 point, that's where I've decided to spend that, because it is useful to have it out there. Plus, it lowers the initiative of those within the circle. Yada yada yada. So let's improve the cooldown, and that was quick and easy, if not not very inspiring. Having 1 point to spend. What can I say? And then. Now, we got the Puppet Master. Okay, that takes 2 points to upgrade. So whenever you help steer a contact's influence limit, I could get an extra charge of it here. Or wait, I could lower the cooldown here, but I can't afford it because I only have 1 point to spend. At some point, I'd like to upgrade that. But since we only have 1 point, we were looking at these 2, and during mission planning, activate a leverage that grants map knowledge. The other one is efficiency grind I've been looking at. Now that we have a room with tokens, I kind of see a benefit to this now. At any safe house room that generates tokens, spend a charge to gain a safe house room token instantly. So if I run out of tokens and really need one, that's where this one comes in handy. And I almost feel like the maps haven't thrown us a wrench yet. I'm sure it'll happen before I pick this up if that's the case, but I think I find, at least at the moment, I feel like I potentially have more uses here early on that could benefit me, especially the legwork, whether I need to shorten the legwork to make it a bit better, increase percentage for success, all that kind of stuff. I see going through some tokens potentially fast, and I'm gonna pick. Now over here, I also like the idea of upgrading the levels to new recruits, but right now 2 levels is sufficient. I imagine the farther we get in, the more I might want starting levels to go up. We can go up to increase 5 starting levels from recruits, but I think we can put that off. And I'm gonna pick up this skill. I really feel it's gonna help us. There you go. And Slasha, you actually have 2 points. And for you, well, you know, since it saved us that one mission, or really came in handy, I do believe I'm going to come here and we're going to give 10% evasion till the end of the next turn also, just in case we take more than 3 hits. That'll help keep us safe, but I'm really doing it to get up to this and gain an extra charge. So I think extra charge could really come in handy with a 3-turn cooldown. So, and then at some point, even having it last longer than till the end of next turn, if we're facing a ton of enemies, that could come in handy too. So let's train. And train. There we go. Your promotion has been completed. Lucian. My man, Lucian. And I think what I want to do now is we're in pretty good shape here. You only have a 1 point to spend, so there's no way we're upgrading Null Op right now. But I think something that could come in handy for us is upgrading Overclock. And I am thinking making Overclock last longer. Now it keeps the extra matrix AP, the extra IO speed, and damage connection. I don't think that lowers connection. Well, maybe it lowers it 9% per turn. I don't know. I didn't know that. I haven't noticed that part because it doesn't last that long anymore, or that long. But now lasting over 3 turns, we'll keep an eye on the damage connection. But even then, connection hasn't been the biggest issue for us. So I think I want it to last longer, and we'll see how that works. We're learning. Some of you may be going, no, it's not as good as you think with that extra connection. You know, if that ends up going up like 27% connection over the 3 turns, as far as eroding it, that would be horrific, but it's unclear. I think it's just hopefully one-time damage connection, but we're going to extend the other 2 because I really like those additions, especially the IO speed. We're going to extend it. And we're done there. And finally we got the man with the points to spend. The man with the points to spend, and that is Sin. And you know, I was thinking back to that one mission where we rescued Rhino, where you were just going cray-cray with the crits. I was kind of thinking, this perk, I think you killed a target before you crit that reinforcement that came in. Big time crit. And I think it could have had to do with savagery, because you killed a target. I think you were the one that killed the target up the one direction, then turned around and shot the other guy and just wiped him out, and you probably got the extra crit chance from this perk. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking, let's go spend a point and max it out. This will reduce the recharge down to 4 turns. And it's powerful if that's what actually happened in that situation. I definitely like this perk, and let's shorten the cooldown as much as we can. And then I'm also thinking down here, I really like Overwatch a lot. We've had some fun. We've missed some Overwatches, but also when it hits, it really comes in handy. So I have an extra charge of it. So I'm thinking, what do I want to do? Lower the cooldown, but what do I ultimately want to get to? 10-degree firing angle, that it widens that. Using Overwatch, you gain 10% ballistic. I'm just gonna pick this one where we reduce the cooldown, because then I have 3 uses and a shortened cooldown. So once I use the first one, it'll help it recharge quickly by the time I get through the next couple. Unless I'm using it every dang turn, if I'm able to space it out even a little, we'll always have an Overwatch available. So that's the first step. And eventually with some points, we could spend it to have even a shorter cooldown. And then it means, yeah, I almost always have it available. So we're gonna do this one first, because I like Overwatch. And then I started looking at other perks, because we have 2 other perks we can pick. And I was looking around at recoup, you know, the gaining the extra action after a critical hit. I was looking at covering fire, an enemy targeted hit or miss by this full auto, and this is the full auto stuff that I'm looking at here, are debuffed. Even if you miss them, lose an action point, lose movement points, lose accuracy, because you're covering fire shocked them so much. Could be a perk I want. I also looked at this one going, make a full auto attack with an extra 10-degree increased firing angle, so it's a wider area to be able to do your full attack with, and immediately recover for recoil, which full auto kicks in a little bit of recoil. So I kind of like the talent of Splat Pat, because in the direction to get to it, because I'm not going to be able to reach it with just 2 points remaining, but I would pick up 1 strength and full auto damage, and another 1 strength and some more, so a total of 6% full auto damage. You know, that stuff starts adding up. Just saying. So I'm thinking coming up here to get ready to go over there, and strength in itself also helps fight recoil. So that's my plan, is to go for this perk. You think differently? Let me know. We haven't had a chance to play around with full auto except in back in tutorial days, but I like having this perk available, especially when we start going loud in missions where we need to and enemies are coming at us and grouping up. I'm thinking of that one mission in particular where we tried to throw smoke and we didn't do it successfully. Full auto could have really come in handy on that mission, so I think that's what I'm gonna move towards, to buff up that perk when we finally get there. So you are spent. That's my thinking. It's funny, these trees, there's so many freaking choices and a lot of them could be made to work. And until I actually get down in there and start using them all, we won't know for sure. But I'm sure I'll start building and finding my favorites. And that's the next one I want to try to see if it will become a favorite or not. So there we go. We've got everybody picked up. Now it's time to get out there. And well, actually, before we get out there, Slasha, we have somebody available that you know. We have a decent amount of money. Let's send you for treatment. Yeah, Jurio is available now. 28k. Not quite as cheap as Dr. Ash, but you have a relationship with Jurio, so I'm sure you'll be in good hands if we have him treat you. Okay, that means, and plus I get Rhino back in, or I should say Overwatch back in 18 hours. So yeah, we won't be short-handed for very long. Not at all. In fact, right now we have our minimum for most missions run with 4 individuals, so we can technically run a mission, at least once we get our heat down below 25, so we have no penalties. So that's the plan. That's what we got going. Command headquarters is 3 out of 3 busy. We sold our files in here, and oh, also I did look in here and check the file sets. None of them, that's why I didn't go in there, but I figured I'd let you know, none of them are complete right now either, so really there's nothing I can do there or want to do there unless I was desperate for cash, and I might come in here and sell some random individual files, who knows. But if I don't have to sell them, I'm gonna hang on to them because they could become, as complete sets, worth a heck of a lot more money. Alright, so we got wound recovery. Why don't we advance time to get up there? And I think that's all we got to do right now, is advance the clock. Alright, one of our rooms has completed. Was it the Underworld Hub? Yeah, here we go. Or was, I can't remember if it was already completed or not, but the tokens are now available. We have 2 of them. We can add 10% success or shorten the legwork duration for whatever we might want on a bit of legwork. So there's that. That's good to know. In fact, as soon as Overwatch is back, I think there was a legwork somewhere in here that she qualified for or gave me the best chance to complete. Well, Bodyguard, I think, is a mission. Daniel is that recruit I'm leaning towards not using. Was there a legwork? This was, yeah, I think it's this legwork. I might take a look at this after Overwatch is available. So that's what I'm thinking. Refreshed my memory. Okay, Rhino's back. Now I'm gonna check back in here because I think this was the one that Rhino had the best chance to potentially finish. And legwork is fine with a little extra heat, so we'll work on that. And you know, I don't know, let's look at these rooms real quick. Sir, I'm not gonna jump in and upgrade a room or spend any hunk of money yet until we get our next mission available, because I kind of want to save money for things that might help us on the mission. Maybe I feel like a weapon upgrade or armor upgrade or attachments, mods. I'm saving that a little bit. I don't know if I should be upgrading, and I'm also unclear on what rooms I want to upgrade next, what priority to give them, because it's all new here. So I haven't really made up my mind there, so I'm kind of delaying. And the way I'm thinking of kind of delaying yet still doing tasks is this. All the upgrades need better power, or if I decide to build another building or room, let's start upgrading, so when it comes time to make a choice, we can just do it because we've upgraded and prepared the rooms. So that's where I'm going to put my next focus at the moment. And do I need any upgrades here for this? No, we're all ready to upgrade there without upgrading the room. We are... well, we can't afford that one, but we have the upgrades to do it when I have the cash. So that's the type of thing I'm checking right now. And this one to upgrade, yeah, I've got all the levels I need, but we're not going to do it now. Have we got the right power and stuff for this room upgrade? It's hard to remember down the road when you have days in between recordings or something to remember all the details. But yeah, look, okay, so the little stuff is current and up to date, so I don't have any more little stuff to do. I can't really come down here, and I don't want to spend 60k to start clearing other rooms when I'm basically getting 2 other rooms ready. It just, now's not the time for it. So that's my opinion. We're going to just advance some time, but first I'm going to check on the legwork here that we postponed. So Origami Joe, he was the one that did this one. I need to know that you'll help me get that crate on board the off-world transport, ZigZag. Well, the space launch pads are overworked traffic. Rockets are going up and down every day. It's a great new angle for my work. And that refreshes my memory. Let's take a look. Yeah, this was the one. We're Overwatch. Now, it's not the greatest of success rates, because she knows smuggler routes. That's what gives her an advantage there. But we may just try our first token, eh? Do I have to, I wonder, do I have to use the token now or after I pick it? There's the question. Let's delay and come right back to him. Yeah, we'll be right back to you. Don't worry. Let's read these tokens. I'm not necessarily interested to shorten this one, but from 55 to get it up to 65 sounds significant. And backing up field operations from the Underworld Hub and shady backrooms can push a legwork to guarantee. So I kind of feel like, oh, this works on all active legwork. So it's almost like we'd like to get as much legwork going as possible. So it has on all active legwork. So we definitely want to see if we have any other legworks on top of this one to get going. So we want to do the legwork first. So let's actually get it going. And at least before it ends, we can increase the chances for success by using a token. And maybe we can find another legwork and have a couple, so get that extra % chance on more than one. Sounds like a plan. Well, we kind of do have one with no relation out there where she's doing some legwork, so that would give us 2. We'll just double check the timeline, see if there might not be 3. That would really be a valuable token in my book. So we can skip forward now. Let's pick the legwork and let's get Overwatch out on this. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. 7 days, and that's okay. We got a little heat, and well, let's check this out, because Origami's going to tell us or discuss a few more details with Overwatch. I think I'll start in the gambling dens and clubs near the launch pad where the transport is scheduled. That's the right place to look, says Origami. Find someone who needs a little help. A little this for that. Okay, so that's in progress. And we got 3 days, so if I'm going to up the success chance, because that's a 60% rate, that would bring that one up to 70. And then, oh, excuse me. And then that would bring that up to 65. Now, is there any more? Bodyguard, I'm almost confident that's a mission. We don't know what this one's about. I need to ask you a very personal favor about my son. I have 4 Mercs here ready. I don't have any mission quite yet available anyway. Let's meet Daniel, get that out of the way. I'm really not interested in a new recruit, but let's talk to her to slash us so we don't offend her and get that out of the way. All right, let me introduce Daniel. So you were a soldier for Zagalis out in the streets of Ward 4? And Daniel goes, yep, I was a soldier, not a street chopper. I'm sure you know just how professional the gangs of New Boston are these days. They've got their street crews, but I was in one of the hammers. Los Zagales Hammers aren't an open invitation club, says Corsair. Based on the gear we had, sometimes you'd think we were being funded by some mill corp. That's good, I say, because sometimes we are funded by a mill corp or even bigger. If you work with us, you'll see some real alpha gear. So you're a soldier. To be that good, the Hammers must be looking for real elite. What role did you play in the squad? And so we get a choice to further define the Merc by picking some traits. So it could be I had the choice. I was always right in my enemy's face on the squad. I was the door kicker. So this would give him extra strength, 3/4. I'm doing this not that I'm going to take him because we already have a soldier, and my goal is to have different, one of each different class, and we already have a soldier. But I'm doing it more to see what's involved with recruiting somebody a little bit, get used to that sequence and how it works. So we'd be able to make him more accurate with a shotgun and less accurate with a sniper railgun. Or, okay, this is just the opposite, long shot. Best way to start any gunfight to improve the odds is from a long way off. So we get tech, less close quarters accuracy, and extra long range sniper accuracy. Or we were always in the thick of it. What really matters is keeping your head on straight. Keep calm, keep shooting. So stress resistance, good recoil, which it can be helpful for a soldier, and then +1 will. So this is the least impressive to me. I think you'd pick one of these. I'm going to just get through the process, pick door kicker, because we don't really have a outstanding shotgunner, but if I'm going to use a shotgun, I want it to be a different I want it to be a different class. I want to learn all the different classes, not have a repeat. So nothing personal, Daniel. I'm using this as a learning experience. We did a lot of strikes and assassinations. It's a pretty personal kind of work. If it's personal, I like to be right in the thick of it. Well, you're built tough and you got 2 square shoulders. As Corsair has said, you'd be a good gun to have at anyone's back. What do you think? No relation? Well, I've got one more question. Sounds like you were a part of a big-time hammer. Why are you getting out? Did you end up in some trouble with Los Zagales? So we get to further refine the backstory here. You remember when Los Zagales raided Barton's prison in 30? What a bloody mess that ended up being. I was there and Brave Stars got my name and number, you know? Okay, so he wouldn't be available for Brave Star missions. I have a messy history with the Fenians. Now the Los Zagales bosses are trying to make nice with them, but you see, the Irish don't forget. I'm getting a little severance pay and the boot, which would mean he wouldn't be able to really deal with Fenian missions. I think we just had a mission where they were Fenians too. Wasn't the last mission like that? And then a year ago I got in a fight in a club. It got ugly and I killed a man. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know he was the lover of some high up McKellen corp jockey. Now he's looking to put a bounty on my head, so that would keep him from doing McKellen related missions. And that's what it is. So we'll just pick the Fenians angle. Since we just dealt with Fenians, maybe we won't see him for a while. But then again, I'm not hiring you. The Fenian have pinned a number of important kills to my name, specifically. It's great for my ego, but it's bad for business, I guess. The Los Nogales have so much trouble with Brave Star in Ward 4 right now, they can't afford a second front with the Fenians. Ah, that's why you were let go. So, you are just too hot to keep around anymore. Private word? No relation? What do you think? Well, everyone in this business has something haunting their past. We've got to keep that in mind when weighing a new recruit. Yeah, so the new recruits we find are going to be just like this. They'll have good traits, and they'll have less than ideal traits, and we just have to hope they work for us. If we can't decide now, we can continue to review. So we'll just delay, because I don't want to choose them. So let's delay. I probably, if I wasn't playing for the first time and didn't want to experience as many different classes as possible, he'd do just fine, because I'm enjoying my current soldier. But we're delaying, and we're gonna hopefully just let him delay on by. Okay. Let's see now. Yeah, so we've done that. So in 3 more days, maybe we have to make a decision. Legwork's coming up. Bodyguard is another mission. Why don't we go for... Because we don't have a mission right now. So it seems like we got time to do another legwork, perhaps. Let's check it out. Zeb Crandall, I need to ask you a very personal favor. It's about my son. You may not even know I have a son, but his name is Alan Crandall. Alan is no stranger to trouble. In fact, I think trouble may be his last friend standing. No relation goes, you've never mentioned him before. What makes him and his trouble worth our time? I don't mention things I'd like to keep out of sight, but if I wasn't serious, I wouldn't be calling you. Alan has never been where I need him to be, so instead it has been theft, guns, drugs, and always trying to weasel his way into gangs. This time he's gone too far. The last thing I know is that he went on a bender in a QM syndicate is the way I'm just gonna say it, gambling house, and then he disappeared into the belly. I can't take this to my people, too much risk to my position, but he's still my son. So yeah, the belly, that place is a death trap. It's the bottom of the well. You think Alan Crandall would come back with us? Well, I know it isn't pretty. Certainly, the belly didn't get its infamous reputation as a last stop on the train for no reason. Well, if Alan is down there, then he is likely in pretty deep. We may need to pay off the syndicates and gangs that hold turf in the belly to get him clear. I'll pay his debts, grease palms, and take the quiet path when you can. Just tell me what you had to front. Yeah, and I'm chiming in with, we'll also need an easy way to ID him. Whoever goes down there is going to be sorting through a lot of flop houses. Oh, lovely. So it is actually legwork. Before I look at the legwork, let's ask at least one more question. So what do you want us to do if he's already dead? Bah, hell, you're a ray of sunshine. No relation. You don't hire ZigZag for his cheery attitude. You hire us to get the job done and to worry about all eventualities. Okay, noted. If you find Alan dead in the belly, then make sure his corpse never leaves that hellhole. One way or another, we're gonna get this business sorted, I say. And so tell the truth, what's the real reason you want him back? Image or blood? Nah, that's personal, so we'll just take a look at the legwork. So Overwatch would have been the best odds, but Sin is close second, and then if we end up taking a token, that would bring it up to 80%. So that seems decent. I'm gonna commit to it. We won't have a full team to do a mission if something weird happens and we need to go out right away. Let's see, Merc for 8 days. Managed to locate and drag Alan Crandall out of the belly safely. Risk of injury up to 7 days. And failure, unable to locate Alan Crandall before something awful happens. Yeah. let's give this a go. We'll have a decent chance to complete it. And I imagine a second token, if a critical mission came up, could always be played to shorten the time Siege Legwork to have somebody available. So let's do it. With Sin, you're going out on your first legwork. I think it's your first. Alright. A hardened merc in the belly would be able to flip a few flop houses until Alan Crandall fell out. Wait, what are you saying? Sin says. Well, why did you pick me? Well, what about no relation? Oh, no. Haha, you've got jokes. Yeah. Then what about Neo? That's good. He would do well down there. Sin really doesn't want to go. I wonder if this is going to put a strain on our relationship somehow. I didn't get any indication that he might not want to go down there. Sid, we're not here to discuss why. By hell, the decision is made. Look, but be sure to pack a change of clothes or two, says no relation, and some, concealable weapons. All right, ZigZag, don't glare at me like that. I'm on it. Yeah, he could tell I was glaring even though I'm wearing the shades. That's how strong my glare is. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got 3 legworks going now. And I am thinking right now, since I have 3 out there, guess what we're doing? We're going to improve the success rate on the chance of success on all of them. I'm going to take my first token right here and improve the chance of success. And then if something juicy comes up, maybe we can shorten the duration. Yeah, let's select it. All right. I'll make aggressive moves immediately to support the field ops from here at the hub. We'll get this done right, says no relation. We can't afford to miss on this, no relation, I tell her. Okay. So that puts me down to only 1 token remaining now. And I forget how long the recharge is between tokens, but I'm sure we'll learn that soon enough. So if we end up needing someone back sooner, well, then we shorten the timer. We at least have wound recovery in 4 days, 12 hours. So I'm not going to put Void, sorry. Void keeps getting put off for getting her wound repaired. What can I say? I think we're okay without a immediate pending mission. We got to discuss one in about 3 days, though. So let's just advance some time. Oh, we got a hype limit break. Neo is hyped. He's feeling good. Now he's got a lot of stress on his shoulders. He's not extremely discontent. He's also not extremely loyal. Neo, could you get to work on that? So we have to pick a single upgrade to apply to this stress break, and we have some choices down here. So we could use the talent Care and Feeding, which we've picked up on No Relations. We can use 1 charge of this talent and re-roll the options available on this limit break if we don't like them. You cannot undo that re-roll, however. But if you have more than 1 charge ready, you can do 2 re-rolls in a row to try and get something we like. Okay, so we can reduce stress score by 50, which stress is a little bit of a potential issue here if he gains more. Tech. We could gain 1 tech. Your tech has been upgraded. So attributes would max at +3 with higher loyalty. The max is +6 to some of all height-based attributes. So basically we gain tech, which could be helpful as a hacker. That would be a good one to potentially gain. And then we have temporary bonuses. I guess we'll just pick the tech because what it gains is, well, it's only 1 tech, but every little bit helps. We get a cyberdeck armor per 5 tech. I don't know what our total, doesn't tell me what our tech is at right now. And then we get 1 matrix AP per level of tech. So without getting out of here and looking, well, we can delay the upgrade and go look, but I think I prefer the permanent upgrade versus the temporary upgrade, even though the temporary upgrades are tempting, especially for extra matrix AP and matrix damage. But now I think I will take the permanent increase. That's what we're going with. Okay, I will now advance time yet again. Oh, that's cool. This is gonna be a bad one. Nah, I'm not thrilled about that. Ghoul's not happy with us getting away with our mission, so he's a little upset at us, I would say. So this is our only choice, as a matter of fact. Looking to harm our operation, Ghoul leaks intel and falsehoods into the underground, building up our heat. Oh man, we're just getting our heat to where we can not worry and run a mission. Boy, how much? Making our heist that much riskier. If our heat is high enough, some contacts may not work with us until we cool off. And it doesn't say how much heat we're going to gain, but since that's our only option, let's find out. We're at 27 now. Oh, we picked up like 25. Or is that 24? You know, math off the top of my head. If I haven't just woke up, never gonna work. So 27 to 52. There we go. Yeah, that would be 25. So I had to think about it. So that means, well, that means I'm not going to talk to him about this mission for another 2 days 6 and give some time for our heat to drop and lower down. And therefore, I'm not going to shorten any of the timing on our outstanding legworks, because if I'm not going to, I'm not going to run a mission right away, I guess. So let's advance the timer. And this room finished. Let's get in here, and a lot of these need level 2 cryo, 1 or 2. So let's start the cryogenic upgrade here. It doesn't spend, these kind of upgrades aren't massive against us. There's no more mini upgrades in here that we need to do. So let's advance time. Okay, this one finished. So now what we can do is get in here and do the second level of cryo. Then any room I want to put there, potentially, could be put there. Alright, in 12 hours I may start doing the same thing in this trash room, getting it ready. We'll do just the cheap prep work and then start saving up for specific rooms that we decide we might want to try next. Alright, we got 3 on legwork. 2 days before we get Slasha back. And the clean room just finished. And I'm just gonna keep upgrading the cheap stuff. 6K still drains money that but it's gonna pay off just to have that done, so we don't have to waste time when we decide we want to build a room. So in that respect, we're just doing it. So this is the recruit offer ending. If we advance the timeline, the potential recruit that Slasha offered to us, I can't even remember his name, Daniel or something like that, he's gonna walk away and we will lose our chance to add him to the team. And we're just letting him walk this time. Sorry, Slasha, but if he wasn't a soldier, I would have gone for it. I want to get other classes. That's my goal. All right, now this is Diego. Okay, this is about our bodyguard, which I think is a mission. So I need you to play bodyguard and help move one of my couriers safely. You know how it is. I've got critical data I need to move, but I can't trust the network is secure. Of course. You know all about it. This is why a Cyber Knights was created in the first place. Well, regular couriers and quants get the job done these days, but a century ago, that's why the first quantum riders were created. When the Knights were first created, it was to protect the data. But now you need us to protect the meat. Exactly where your team would come in. My courier has the data safely stuffed in their headwear, but needs bodyguards. So that's we're escorting a live body rather than just hacking into and moving data. Well, we might be able to play protector for you, I say to Diego Cleland. So he's offered a bodyguard job. We will be paid to protect an important VIP courier moving through a dangerous area. It's called Crossing Sentinel. So we'll look for it on the timeline to see what kind of time we have to do it. Hopefully it's far enough down the timeline so some of that heat goes away, because right now, guess what? We have a little too much heat. So let's hope we got a little time to wait before we have to do it. Where is it? Cross it 5 days? Well, hopefully 5 days will get the heat down. That would be nice. The other good thing is I would then get my, well, we have wound recovery, so I'd then be up to 5 for this. And then looks like Octane is back, and she may have another also mission available for us. So there's potentially a lot coming up here. Let's advance the time, get our first soldier back, then finish this legwork. And of course, we may have other issues pop up in the meantime, and get Sin back. And then we'll be real close to the timing for this mission, and we'll see where the heat is at that point. Okay, we're slowly draining our funds, but we're getting these rooms ready, at least, for when we finally decide to bite the bullet. And so cryogenic is what we need to upgrade. Okay. Okay, we got the wound recovery. We are back. So let's take a look at Slasha. Yeah, no injuries anymore. We only got one more wounded here, and it's if I technically could get her wounds cleared, but let's do this real quick. Let's take a look at this mission, see what type it is, and see if I need someone with Void's particular skills for this particular mission. The couriers, okay, this is the bodyguard work. It kind of feels like what's involved in this? Is it a shooting thing? Is it a sneaky avoid cameras? Yeah, so they're probably considered a little bit of both. Let's look at this closer. Okay, so there's an optional hacking. Is that really what we want to focus on for moving, trying to keep a body alive? Mixed stealth combat. The matrix is green, which is, I think, green is not a high level. I would be shocked if green is for go, so it's got to be one of the low levels. So I don't know how convenient it would be to hack while we're trying to escort somebody, though. Cancels any reinforcement deployment. I would need a favor for that. This would reveal, holy smokes, that's a lot of money. Reveals entire matrix node maps in mission's first stage, but not later stages. Well, there's only one stage here. Disable all cameras, long-range cameras until the end of the next turn. See, if I decided to heal Void, maybe I would spend the money here then. That would take, her healing would probably be in the 25-ish, 25. So I'd basically be out 40k. That could be doable. It could be doable. So, yeah. And as far as the people available, one of them is, let's just look. One of them is my hacker, who also now has something he wants to talk to me about. And Sin would, by the time we do the mission, be back. So we'd have a shooter. I don't think Rhino would be back in time, so I wouldn't be able to take out Overwatch on that mission. Because Rhino's legwork... Oh, guess what? I think No Relations snooping just failed, and it got delayed, and she's doing it again, because all of a sudden she's back here. So instead, we have... Oh, Overwatch. Oh, Overwatch and Sin would be available before this mission. So let's go. Let's hope they're successful and not injured, though. I think one of these had a chance for someone to get injured. So let's cross our fingers on that one. Okay, a couple rooms just finished. I think this one's the level I need to build any room coming up. but I'm waiting till after. We potentially are going to have a couple missions where maybe we'll build up our cash and can make a hard decision on a room that we want to upgrade. So in the meantime, I'm just going to spend small cash and get this one ready for something we might want to build. And then there's not much more piddling stuff to upgrade at the moment. We're just going to have to start choosing and saving money for bigger upgrades. All right, because we got open tasks. Here I was worried about not having enough tasks. Now I have too many tasks to keep everybody busy. Oh well. Influence limit break. So this is good, and this is with Dr. Ash. So we get an upgrade of some kind with her. So we could use the Puppet Master to increase the following services. Right now the upgrade being offered is her cybernetic service will increase to level 2. So she would be able to put in cybernetic implants that gives us various perks. That's about as much as I know about cybernetic implants right now. I just know they're available. I'm not sure of all the different kind yet. I have not explored the wiki or wherever they might be to see. But if we use one of our Puppet Master charges, we could increase the following services. Medical items to level 2 and cybernetics to level 2. Medical items. Okay. Or we can trade a favor with Dr. Ash. We can unlock a maximum of 3 limit break options and then choose one of them. I don't know exactly what the medical items level 2 are to spend at that. I think I might keep the Puppet Master there. We're just going to do the basic upgrade that comes with it for now. Because I don't understand. I don't yet have an intricate knowledge of what's important or what's more important than something else for, you know, using a charge, using a favor. We're just going to take what's offered right now. For better or worse, as we learn. Let's advance the time. Alright, Overwatch is back. I made some friends down near the spaceport, and it didn't cost too much of your United Digis to get that package airborne. That's the way it has to be done. Every smuggler finds the paths to make the goods flow, says Origami Joe. We have gained 2 favors with Origami Joe now, who has also gained 20 influence. That puts him pretty close to an influence break, I think. Let's take a look at Origami Joe real quick. Excuse me. And see exactly where he's at. There he is. Almost looked right past him. So he's up to 70% now. He had been at 50. I think that's where he was. Oh, yeah, because that other things I sold him I thought would get him to 50 and then 70, but they never did. So now he's up to the 70 I thought he should be at. So he's not quite ready to have a chance for any influence breaks, but he's getting a lot closer. So that's good. I'm glad we're increasing our influence with Origami Joe. Because eventually, if that influence starts upgrading weapon and blueprint mods, we can start selling some of those blueprints that we haven't been able to sell to anybody yet. Alright. Nothing else there. Let's get Sin back, see how he did on his with... Now, if we completed that last one with a less chance for success, good job, Overwatch. Hopefully Sin will have no problem at 80%. We can hope. We're gonna find out about Alan, the son of the other guy. The son of the father. Let's advance. And we're down to okay, we're actually the heat. Oh, we only have a day, but let's do this day and see how much heat drops. We got to get it down to 25 come this mission. We'll see how much it's dropping. Let's go find out. Oh, it's almost down there now. I saw it drop to 27 before this popped up. So Sin is back and has quite the story. We need to all talk, says no relation. Sounds like we may have good news to deliver to Zeb Crandall. Yeah, there's the dad's name. Zeb, good old Zeb. Well, says Sin, I pulled the duty in the belly this time, but I don't ever want to go back, ZigZag. That sounds disgusting down there if Sin didn't like it. The place lives up to its reputation. I hate to see that side of humanity. But I was able to drag Alan out of there alive. I found him in a Ricksham camp. I think if I hadn't shown up, they were gonna kill him. Ooh, he got himself into some trouble. I will leave it to Alan to explain what he was doing with those drug-running train hobos. Alan, I say, he needs to go home, not talk with me. Let's hear him out. It may be that he is less cooked in the brain pan than we've been led to believe. Alright, let's make this quick, I say. There's Alan. Okay. Hey, Choppa. Hey, ZigZag. I'll go straight to the point. I owe you, and I want to make it up to you. Of course, Seb Crandall doesn't know anything about what I'm up to, so he paid you to come find me. But it turned out good. It turned out real good. Okay, hear me. I was in the belly to cut a deal with Ricksham. They've got a new kind of juice coming up from Atlanta. It was going okay. Sid chimes in. Hey, they were gonna kill you. Oh, okay, all right. Those Ricksham vagabonds took offense to me pretty good. I was cooked. Well, then they heard a soldier who works for a cyber knight was coming down to check on the deal. Or at least that's how I spun it. That wrapped everything up real nice. And now you're looking at the only dealer in New Boston with blue juice in his boots. Those crafty Ricksham bastards have been starving New Boston for red juice, not letting us get a drip. Turns out it was all a plan to make us want the new blue. See, I don't even need anything from you. Sin already had my back, got me the deal. You go tell Zeb Crandall that I'm just fine. I'm not even using this stuff, not a drop. And then call me up. Just try a taste. He's trying to get us hooked. He's trying to get us hooked so he can deal to us. Once all your Matrix cowboys and girls here, they're going to be screaming at you about this new juice. Well, I'm open to it apparently. We just might do that. Well, you played a fine part, Sin, says no relation. The Ricksham like to look tough, but they're railway rats, not soldiers. Once they heard who had my back, it got calm quick. Your good name doing work, ZigZag. Okay. So the juice is going to be... So time to talk to Zeb Crandall. We'll leave out the part about the Ricksham. Or time to give Zeb Crandall the news we have to tell him about the Ricksham. Ooh, we're going to have to decide how much we need to let him know. So the juice is going to... I'm going to go into details first. So the juice is going to be back on the streets. Alan is right about the Ricksham basically cut off the supply to the red juice. For a while, every hacker and wire ghost... So this is hacking stuff to help out Neo, maybe. The blue juice that we're going to eventually be able to get. It was mixing that stuff up before plugging in. Okay. Sounds like the Ricksham are getting ready to profit off all that pent-up demand. The powerful pre-hacked narcotic powder gives hackers and wire ghosts amazing buffs within the Matrix. For half of 2230, while red juice was available on the black market, the hackers who could afford it each had a pre-hack ritual based around ingesting the extremely sour powder. So what about the indie? What else do we know about them? Well, the Ricksham are a small crime syndicate that lives on the train systems between major urban zones of the UNA. And with all the challenges, No Relation says, to air and sea transport, rails are the most reliable and fastest way to get things around, stateside at least. The Ricksham don't get into moving big cargo, and know to stay away from the mega corporate freight, unless there's something really worth it. Yeah, they move a lot of drugs, people, and guns, says Sin. But they don't do local distribution. I'm surprised Alan is deep enough in the drug trade to have the street cred to walk into a rickshaw camp. Alan might have the cred to walk into the camp, but he wasn't walking out. The rickshaw were gonna gut him when I showed up. Clearly, he was overpromising about being the only dealer in town. But he is a good source, for now. And it's nice to have a connection who can deal with rickshaw. They're a ruthless little band of smuggling hobos. But there are opportunities there also. Ah, see, that word there. Maybe Alan made the mistake of calling them hobos. I bet they'd kill for less. Ah, so they get down talked, but they don't like being talked about as hobos. Riding the trains, the hobos. All right, so we got to talk to Zeb Crandall, and now we got to decide. Oh my God, do we tell him about the rickshaw part or not? I feel like we got to kind of tell him about it because he was talking about relocating, and that would really sour the relationship because Alan is making a name or business for himself here in that drug trade, and that might ruin the relationship more. So I almost feel like we need to tell him about the rickshaw and what his son's been up to. I don't know if he'll be impressed or not. But we're gonna complete it this way and tell him about the rickshaw. I hope I'm making the right choice. Let's find out. Yep, time to give Zeb Crandall the news. So he's waiting to hear from me. Alan is safe and alive. We pulled him out before the real trouble started. Good. I knew you could handle this for me. But what do you mean, real trouble? Well, we've learned that Alan Crandall was doing what he was doing in the belly, trying to cut a drug deal with the rickshaw syndicate. I think if we hadn't arrived, they might have taken him for ransom, or worse. The Gypsy Syndicate? Oh, it's called the Gypsy Syndicate, huh? Sounds better than the Hobo Syndicate. The rickshaw live and operate on the rails between all the major urban zones and the UNA. If you're trying to move something illegally by train, you've got to work with them. They may be a small syndicate, but they wield a lot of power. That idiot. I will speak with Alan, but clearly that does no good. Are there any other loose ends other than Alan's maniac death wish? No, everything was handled, and we don't have to pay any large debts, so you're clear. Thank you for your honesty and for pulling him out of a fire. A ransom. That is the last thing I need. We have gained 4 favors, we have gained influence, and we've gained trust now with Zeb Crandall. So I don't know if the other situation would have gained us that kind of stuff also, but based on that alone, I think I'm happy for the result, I would say. 4 favors, that's a lot. That is a lot. Okay. Okay, 171k still in the bank. That should be enough for a mission, and let's just let the 18 hours go by and hope the heat drops to 20 to below 25. Here we go. Cross your fingers. Okay, it's down to 23. How about that? Oh yeah, a task finished before that came up, so that's really nice. Woohoo! Yeah, that's good news. So now we got ourselves a little bit of a mission to do. It's going to be the bodyguard mission coming up, the Crossing Sentinel. So why don't we get down into the mission planning? We do have 6 ready Mercs now, with everybody coming back other than Face from their legwork. We're going to have new legwork opportunities here. And I'm thinking we'll check that out after the mission. I'm going to do mission planning and figure out who we want to take on this thing first. And then maybe I can get the legwork going before we do the mission. That would be a possibility. seems like a nice payday, so we'd probably net, obviously after salaries, less than 200K, but there's potential hacking. I'm really torn on if I should be doing hacking while trying to escort and get a bodyguard somewhere, but if the opportunity presents itself, I guess we'll bring our hacker on the mission. Mission planning, I don't know if, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna kind of see what Mercs I might want to take, and I have 4 Mercs. Well, how do I... Oh, I can see. There we go. I can remove them from the team if I want to take somebody else. So I can go on this one. I'm fine with that. Neo can go on this one. I'm not sold on Slasha yet. So let's go see. I could bring Void, Slasha, or our Sniper. So I'm wondering if we really bring, if we bring the Sniper, because this is not a total loud mission, a mix of stealth with combat, which does not seem to jive yet for and Void is injured. You know, that's the other thing I gotta look at. So before I pick, let's see who would be desired for the legwork. And let's at least look at that, and that may help narrow down who my final choice is. Maybe for the legwork, only one of these can go, and then I'll probably postpone it, and then I'll come back and choose this. So let's just see who is going to be available for this upcoming legwork. That seems to make sense. New conversation here. I think that's Dr. Ash, if I remember. I'm not... I think that's who that is. Let's find out about this legwork. And let's see what else is beyond that. Possible recruit. I wonder what kind it would be. I'm popping in here. Just take me. Well, I hopefully the recruit stays 10 days out, even if I don't choose them. I want you to meet a thief named Joan. A thief. What kind of a class would that be? Sounds potentially different than anything I have, so that's kind of exciting. So like I said, if you're looking for a new character, make a request down in the comments now. Whoever first come first serve, unless you're a channel member and I move you to the front, but first come first serve, and we'll get you in line for a character to name as soon as we hire them. Now let's take a look at this legwork. I need one of your mercs on the legwork, Dr. Ash says. Help me collect on some debtors who are trying to stiff me. They need to remember, if I patch them up or put chrome in them, they owe me money. This isn't a UNA clinic for Grey Carters or something. No Relation says, I see how we could put the fear back into a few of them. Word would get around quickly that a Cyber Knight is collecting for you. Honestly, you wouldn't even have to do that much. Rumors about my clinic run wild enough as it is. So, you're not offering to pay us? Or No Relation goes, is word getting around that you've gotten soft, Dr. Ash? We'll go with that one first. It is growing pains, No Relation. I am swimming in a larger pond, and some of those fish want to test out their teeth on me. I'm climbing, not getting all mushy on the inside. Okay, so you're not offering to pay us? This is too small for a payment, ZigZag. Your crew barely has to lift a finger. And you know, I'm good for my favors. Oh, so we'd probably gain a favor out of this. Okay. Let's see who would do best on it. Well, Sin I want on the mission. Although Corsair, there is a risk of injury after that, though. So, pressure a few debtors. We'd get 2 favors and 20. Oh, another 20 influence with Dr. Ash. We've already had 1 influence break with her. That would help to start building us up for more. But there is a risk of injury. Am I willing to do that for 60%? Even if things get nasty, there's still some gain to be had. So failure isn't necessarily total failure, we'll still get something out of it. Maybe not full success payoff, but we do risk injury. So Cyber Sword, she used to be a bouncer, so if she's gonna put pressure on somebody, that could make sense. And then that would mean I would have to take somebody else. If I sent Corsair Slasha, I don't know if I want the sniper on what could be stealth. So I might end up bringing Void, making sure she has that armor on. Or buy another set of armor. I'd have the money. So I think I'm gonna commit. So I'm probably gonna enjoy this too much, says Corsair. That's right, Slasha. She likes putting on the pressure, playing bouncer. Remember, Choppa, I still want them as customers. Remember? Okay. She still wants them as customers, so have fun, but don't get too hard there, Slasha. Don't get too hard. All right. I don't remember who that is. I don't recognize that face. She's on the edge of forging a German connection. Well, we're almost on the edge of forging a German connection too. You're just coming in a little sooner, so that'll be interesting when we get there. So my pending heist seems to be clear. So let's plan the mission. I'm not sure about any of these. If we're going to have Void, it seems less important because we have more abilities to take out cameras and devices. So I don't feel a need to do that. Just in case, we could call in a favor to cancel reinforcement deployment for 2 turns. Could be something that comes in handy. Of course, that's the only problem with those favors, though, is you never know when the reinforcements are going to come because it's not announced. Like, this security escalation is going to give you reinforcements. This security escalation is going to turn on some cameras and devices. So it's basically a guess, giving you a peace of mind, some peace of mind at a security break is basically what that's good for. But hey, I don't know that I want to spend 40k on anything like looking at the map. That now, if Face picks up that perk, then we would never pay to get a peek at the maps like that. So, but I chose another one first. Oh well. Let's go pick out the team. And then we'll think about coming back here for a favor. So I'm leaning towards Void now. What we're gonna have to do is take a look at her armor. She has the light armor, and someone's out on legwork. So we're gonna end up buying armor for her. I need another. I can't take her out without better armor just to kind of keep her protected. And she's the only one then after this that we got to get healed up and whatnot. So let's go shopping. Because in my inventory, I only have level 1, the extra level 1. And let's go see about buying that level 2 armor that we've seen in here. Hopefully it's still available. Yeah, this one. 84k. I think it's definite that we want to buy it. Origami, thank you. Yeah, we got the armor. And then we'll start looking at other stuff that we may or may not want. Like, she has a pistol, and I may just upgrade her blade then. Ooh, we got blue juice available, 14k. Let's go. What does it do? Immediately buff yourself with 20 matrix AP. Can be used multiple times during a single turn. Holy smokes. Yeah, but if you buff too much, you start running out of IO and different things that way. So we'll have that could be helpful. That could be helpful. Interesting. Okay, so the blue juice is something that could be worth having. Still don't have access to a shock grenade. I don't see that coming on here and showing as being available yet. We got the frag, HE grenades, smoke, street frag, but no shock grenades are available yet. So let's go back and see what else we want to use with the team. We'll come here, we're going to unequip, and then we're going to come here and give you the level 2 armor. Okay, so at least we got that upgraded. I don't know that I'll build it. Well, we do have the upgraded Street Dragon, which is nice. As far as pistols, yeah, let's see. Do we have the silencer anymore for you? Oh, I think to mod we may have to go somewhere else, and then I may start thinking about giving people basic loadouts, because then I can swap. You don't have to, yeah, different loadouts between people for some of that stuff. I kind of learned that's a thing. Do I have anything here? I'd rather maybe buy another Dazzler since we've used one now, and I kind of have a sense for it. It could come in handy. Maybe an upgraded blade for you if we're going to try moving and fighting. Let's go find out the upgrade to the blade and a Dazzler. If it's even available anymore, or was there just that one? Actually, I don't think there's another Dazzler out there. There's a question for you then. And I'm learning all this stuff. Sorry guys for spending all this time. That's why my missions are so long right now. I gotta learn and look at stuff, and it slows me down. Let's go back into here and go to Slasha. She's on Legwork, but can I take a Dazzler away from her while she's on Legwork? Oh good. That's good to know. So you're not gonna have the Dazzler. You're on Legwork. Let's give you a grenade. Who cares on your Legwork if you need to use it? And then we can take away the silencer on you, so I don't have to buy another one right now. There. And then I can use it over on Emily's pistol because it didn't have one. Oh, whoa. Let's do it right here, as a matter of fact, because sometimes you can't attach those things on the other loadout screen. Silencer. Okay. Actually, I don't need to upgrade the blade then, because Slasha, that's not gonna make a difference to you. Unequip. Let's give it to Emily. Unequip and put in the slash blade, or the sling blade, level 2. And there's no grips for it or anything. Slasha, let's give you, so you at least have something. What the heck? We'll let you play with the on your Legwork. Why don't you play with this item and see what you think a little bit? And then that's about it. Now, is there anything else I want to add? We got a scope, reduces. So we could look at a barrel or a pillar foregrip. We've already got. Helps lower recoil. Maybe I want to upgrade to another Street Dragon for myself for now. Weapon-wise, there's not a lot of upgrade choices. Let's just see if there's any amazing pistol upgrades over here that make sense. Secure shot. Dun 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 dun. Dun. And then we also, this is a revolver. Now those are powerful, but they make a lot of noise. There ain't gonna be no silencers to be put on those. So since it's not a loud mission, that's not the right timing to be using that. We all have the defensors. Accuracy plus 70, armor shred. who do I compare it to? I don't know. I pressed the C for compare. Oh, here it does. Now it compares them to see if it's worth the extra cost. Secure Shot Defensor is in compare. So the Secure Shot has better accuracy, a little bit better damage, hardly any difference. Is that worth? It's got more recoil. You know, for the extra money, what's the advantage? It's minimal accuracy improvement, minimal damage improvement, and it gives you more recoil to have your follow-up shot after. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with the upgrade. Now let's look at some. Do we have any attachments? A shotgun. I mean, at some point we'll want. Do I want to get an assault rifle suppressor? So we can even shoot with an assault rifle? Yeah. So I think we all have pistol silencers. You know, I think we're probably okay. So let me just double check everybody's loadout. I think we're just going to go with that. Now, do I want an HG grenade? I wish we had some. We're going to have the HG grenades just in case it goes loud and we need to help to get out of there. We got silencers, red dot on that one. Street Dragon is okay. For myself, we got the foregrip attachment, pistol silencer, and a red dot. Don't have upgraded armor. And then Neo, the bull assault. That's your go loud weapon, and then you got the defensor there. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's get into mission planning and get ready to go on this one. All right, everybody. I've decided to see whose favor we would be calling in. Ah, it would be from Diego Cleland. How many favors do we have with him at the moment? This is his only favor. So therefore we would be calling in this favor. It's worth about 30K. We're good. This is early. I think we got a good team. I think we can make this happen without the favor. Famous last words. So there we are. Under equipped. Oh yeah, we didn't pick the Dazzler. I was gonna pick that. Okay, I think we're ready to go, guys. So we're gonna put a pause right here. Surprise, surprise. With the mission running as long as it is right now, I know it's very rare to put out an episode without an actual mission involved in it. But since I'm heading out to vacation very shortly, and I'm gonna have to try editing this while I'm on vacation in between some busyness, I don't want to make it too long that I can't get that accomplished. So we're gonna get to start out with a mission, something I actually prefer starting with a mission on a normal basis. So maybe we can start getting that to become a reality for down the road. So thank you all for hanging with me on this one, since it only, well, we got a lot of legwork done, so that's a good point. Other than that, this is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching. Really do appreciate it as we dig into this brand new game, for us at least, and I hope you come back to join us on future episodes. Ciao, everybody.